believe it or not, 2 sleepless nights for me. Like Carmen rightly mentioned, I take very much pride in what I do. Everybody knows that in my presentation. And so what happened, certainly you could say I dropped the ball. I was reading up on Facebook, and I noticed that G. Michael mentioned that, Terry, you must make a public apology. And that is what I'm doing. And I know that I must do that, G. Mike. You know, nobody needs to tell me that. That is common sense. You know, in fact, I tried to do that immediately after. I tried to make amends immediately after making light of the situation, after making the announcement, because what I want to share with the people at this moment while making my apology is that the way how the results came into me, I misread the results, and that is what happened. So for that reason, trying to make light of the situation, when I mentioned the wrong band as the #1 band, my colleague Armin, who had just mentioned the 3rd place band, Gwen Liz, nudged me to say that I had it wrong. And I saw the president of NICH, Diane Hale, wagging her finger, saying the same, because obviously they had already seen the results. And when I looked at it again, I realized where I went wrong. And I tried my style to see if that would have gone across, and that was poor judgment on my part. That did not wash well. That's when I decided that the right thing to do was to apologize, but the deed was already done. So from the bottom of my heart, Benke Viho, I want to say I'm really sorry for what happened. This is something that nobody would wish on their worst enemy. And the Facebook comments are, some of them are, I don't know, cruel. You know, one guy, Joel, said he should be lynched, you know, for what he did. And I said, really? And these are the comments that my children have to read and respond to. So, like I said, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, folks. And I've been a master of ceremonies for over 25 years. I think I'm very good at what I do, and I trust that this is what certainly want to grow on. It goes to show that every day is still a learning experience, even for somebody as seasoned as I am in that in that category. So with all my heart, once again, I want to publicly apologize to the Benkeveho Marching Band. And you know the irony of the situation, guys? That was actually the band I was rooting for. I can say that because I'm not a member of the Bandfest committee. Okay? I love their performance, especially on the street where they were displaying, as Julia just mentioned, she and Felix were reporting. I was right beside them, and they saw me getting emotional when they went across the judging area there, you know, by the roundabout. And I love that tribute they did to Andy and to Paul Nabor, you know. So and I love their performance in the field as well, their field demonstration, as well as the other bands. All the bands did very well, extremely well. They certainly held their own. It could have gone either way. What it shows is that we're not musicians. That's why we use seasoned musicians like Fred Bryant, Trevor Major, you know, Dr. Jeff Bright, and Lucio Enriquez. These are well-seasoned musicians who have an ear for music. They will know what are the flaws that we might not notice, you know. And so that's the reason why the judging went the way it went. And I did not change the results in any way. I made a mistake and blundered by announcing what the judges did not have on the paper. You know, in instances before, I've been in instances where, like, for example, Miss Agric show, where there are only 3 contestants. And so I always say, not to be anticlimactic, we announce 3rd and then we go straight to 1st. That is what we do, you know, just for a little bit more drama. And that is what we had all agreed upon in this. In fact, I mentioned it on stage before I did the results. We all agreed on that. All right, so I knew beforehand that this was the way it was supposed to be announced. What I did not realize was that was the way they had put it on paper. I had assumed that it was going to be the same way, and I want to show first the results for the drum corps competition, where we have it 3-2-1. Orange Walk Central Drum Corps, St. Luke's Purple Spirit, and then Holy Redeemer as #1. All right, that is what we had for that. And then when the paper came up and we announced the winners now for the other category, which is the wind instrument category, right at the top I saw Gwen Liz Marching Band. That was the one that was first announced. Let's switch to that one, guys. You know, Gwen Liz Marching Band was #3. and then in the middle was first place, which is the way I was instructed to announce it, and then at the bottom was Benkevejo marching band. But mentally, I had already, in my mind, I had it 3, 2, 1, and I wasn't even watching the number beside it saying second, okay, and first. I did not watch that part. I just went straight to the bottom and announced Benkevejo marching band as number 1. That is what I did. This is the score sheet. This was the result sheet that was handed to me, to Armin and I on the stage. So that's when I realized that I blundered, and I tried to make light of the situation, which was not good. That was poor judgment on my part. It is something that I will never live down. Okay, I will remember that for the rest of my life. You better believe it, because I'm very proud at what I do. I take pride in what I do. So something like this, trust me. I mean, I know the Benkevejo marching band and their members, they're taking it very hard right now, and their supporters. But just think about what I am going through at the moment. What would I said one guy, Joel, going so far as to say that he should be lynched? And these are comments that my children see on Facebook page. You know, I noticed G